Hey everybody, welcome to a Monday edition of Box Seats. Of course, looked like we had a couple of technical difficulties right there for half a second. Don't know what happened, but it's a new year. It's a new year, new edition, and that's what happened. So, and first of all, I hope you guys had a great new year. My name is Frank Holder. That is a comedian known as Fig, and another comedian known as Talent, who's been in the comedy game for such a long time. These guys have been in comedy specials, comedy shows, comedy tours, comedy commercials, and now they're in a comedy sports show where we like to call the Box Seats. First of all, Talent, how was your weekend? Fig, how was your weekend? It's New Year's weekend. How's everything, guys?
It was a wonderful, wonderful New Year's weekend. New Year's fell on a Friday, which was perfect. You know what I mean? So got the work in, bro. Got the play in, and got the dogs in. The dogs right over there watching the show, son.
Yes, indeed they are. I like when you wearing all that branding. That's how you brand there, son. That's how you brand. I like that. That's how you brand. Fig, how was your weekend? New Year's weekend? We kicked it off or what?
Man, all I can say is things is lovely. I'm here in 2021 and ready to get this new year of the Box Seat started, baby. The weekend was awesome. It was an awesome weekend for sports too, baby.
All right, let's get ready. Speaking of sports, let's get this thing started off. I always start off with the COVID reports. Let me jump into that real fast. Women's college basketball, Louisville has now canceled 2 games because of virus issues. North Carolina, in college basketball now, North Carolina, Virginia, Florida State are all dealing with virus issues, and all of those colleges are expected to cancel games in the next two or 3 days. So they're looking at women's college basketball is looking to probably have a seismic shift real soon. The NCAA tournament has announced that they are going to, in men's college basketball, they are going to play the entire 2021 men's basketball tournament. They're going to play it at Indianapolis, which is really strange because that's never happened before, in Indianapolis, Indiana, and somewhat of a bubble. So, Talent, I'm going to say this to you. This year, it looks like college basketball is not trying to throw away some of that money. You know what I mean? Like, they're not getting rid of that money. So they're going to make sure they make all that money happen, make it rain, as they say, because they lost out on millions. Some people even speculated billions when the coronavirus hit and they canceled, wiped out the entire NCAA tournament in 2020. What's your thoughts when you hear this?
Well, absolutely. I mean, cash is king, money rules. And it's like Cream, Wu-Tang. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Got to play the ball, y'all. Look, you know what I mean? No Fig, got to play ball, y'all. So listen, I think like this. I think that at least, Frank, because you know how we were. In the beginning, all of us was like against putting these kids at risk. At least people are starting to take notice and take a page out of the NBA's book with this bubble thing. At least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're going to make the money off of these kids back and do what you've been doing. At least take the steps and measures to make sure our kids got a fighting chance of being safe.
What do you think about that, Fig, when you hear about that? Because you got kids who college kids, and like Talent does too. You guys got kids, when you hear the same thing, what's your thought process?
Man, first off, my kids are not college age. They're at the age of being college professors. So my kids is but young man, it is what it is, man. I just hope that, if you're gonna make money off these kids, at least you could do is protect your product and keep them safe. You know what I mean? The NBA proved that the safest way to play sports and to keep everybody virus free was the bubble.
Yeah, I couldn't say any better than that. Let me also talk about the Clemson game. The Sugar Bowl was Friday night. Everybody had this hype on Friday night. Now we're going to talk about the NFL and NBA too. But the Sugar Bowl was Friday night. I personally was looking forward to watching the Sugar Bowl because I want to see how good this Trevor Lawrence kid is supposed to be, and I want to see how good, how good of a quarterback he is and everything else. But I'm going to say this, Town. The surprise of the night to me was Justin Fields. That boy balled out. They literally smashed Clemson, and it was 49-28. The game was over at the halftime. Now, I'm going to ask you this question. Do you think Justin Fields now could possibly have a shot at being the #1 draft pick because of that game? Or you think, no matter what happened, the outcome of that, Trevor Lawrence is still going to be the #1 draft pick, and Trevor Lawrence is still a better QB? Now, my opinion is I think it's even from what game I saw. I didn't watch all the games they both played, but Justin Fields is a beast to me from what the game I saw. Now, that's just my opinion. What's your thoughts?
Well, I think that people are going to do what they always did. I think they're going to look at everything all together, not one game. Because when you're banking your money on the future, that's exactly what you're doing. It's the future. It's not one game. It's over several games. So they're going to look at the body of work of both gentlemen. And if I don't personally follow him, but I know if Trevor Lawrence's body of work outshines his body of work, he's still going to be number one. He's not going to move that.
Right. What's your thought process, Fig, when you saw the Clemson game and you saw it in the Sugar Bowl? And be honest with you, Ohio State lost to Clemson previously the year before. They got smashed. And then Justin Fields made sure he went out and he literally flipped the script on it and crushed them. I mean, it was almost embarrassing. So what's your thoughts?
They're not going – listen, whoever wanted Trevor Lawrence is going to pick him regardless of that game. And it really doesn't matter now. I hate to throw this out here, but if Trevor Lawrence was brown, he would have dropped a few. He'd dropped a few stock points. The stock market would have crashed on Monday if his skin was brown. But the fact that he has the complexion, for NFL quarterbacks, he's gonna be all right.
Well, I'll say this statistically. Trevor Lawrence right now, the last couple of years, he's put up better numbers. So that's probably why he's going to be. I don't think it has anything to do with skin tone. I understand your point, but statistically speaking, Trevor Lawrence is supposed to be the man. But overall, the eye test has a lot to say in football, I think. But people don't seem to equate that like basketball. But anyway, let's jump into NFL. I'm going to mention about the hirings and the firings. Actually, possibly more like firings in a second. But the Washington football team last night. And I'm starting out this show early because I was expecting the way the Washington football team was playing and the way the Philadelphia Eagles was playing. I was expecting the Giants to make the playoffs because I was like, they're only down by 3. Justin Fields is playing. Then Justin Hurts. Justin Hurts is playing. He's doing pretty good. Next thing you know, he gets pulled in the 4th quarter. Now, everybody all around was saying that Philly threw that game on purpose. Now, as a Giants fan, I'm going to throw this out there to you, Talent. When you saw that game last night, and I'm sure you saw it. If you didn't, you saw the highlights and everything else. What was your thoughts on looking at how Philadelphia handled that game? Because it was one of the sloppiest games I've seen somebody who potentially could win a game actually play.
I thought it was despicable to the league, and I agree with a lot of people who were up in an uproar, including the announcers, calling them out. And a couple of them even said, "I know the league gonna call me in this. I hope I don't lose my job," but that's terrible. Like the game is to be played to win. Right. I don't care if you're out of the playoffs. You got no shot at it, or whatever the case may be. You still know that your game is a deciding game. You have to go out there and play. You know what I mean? You play the game to win, and the chips fall where they may. It looked like they laid down. They just said, "You know what? We're going to give you this pass, and so be it. Whoever is not going to make it because you win." That's horrible. If they beat you, is one thing. To give it to them, that's a disgrace, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
let's look at the kind of money people pay for sports. Not just the fan, but what the athlete is making. You don't get paid to take a night off. And I mean, bottom line, Frank, that's throwing a game. That's always been illegal.
Yeah. Now, Fig, I'll throw this out there to you. Doug Peterson came out and said this morning they were trying to play the game to win. But let's look at the facts. The facts are they went from number 9 in the drafting order to number 6 in the drafting order. They pulled Hurts in the middle of the 4th quarter when they were getting ready to make a run. To me, if that don't look like they're trying to give away the game, then nothing does to me. I was like, the integrity of the game went out the window. And it's the first time I've ever seen it literally that blatant in a football game. What was your thoughts?
My thoughts is this, man. I'm upset by what Doug Peterson did, the call that he made by putting in the 4th string quarterback in the last game of the season, which was going to determine the winner of the NFC East. I'm disgusted by that, but I'm even more disgusted at the fact that after the game, he went to the press conference and lied through his teeth, and everybody with an inkling of sense knew that Doug Peterson was lying. And the worst part about it is it was a horrible lie. I mean, don't piss on me and tell me it's raining. At least give me a lie that I can believe. Oh, this guy has been playing so good. He's our 4th string quarterback, and he's been here for 4 years, and we thought that we deserved to give him a look. Really? In the last quarter of the last game of the season, now you want to give him a look?
You know what the funny thing is? The talent is, check this out. The funny thing is Doug Peterson still has his job going into next season. I thought that he was going to get fired, but it looks like I was wrong. But speaking of firing, Anthony Lynn got fired this morning. Head coach of the LA Chargers got fired this morning. Now, let's not forget, 2 years ago, this man had a 12-4 record. The year before that, he had 11-5. Last year, this past season, he lost over 8 games by 1 possession. Now, I will say this. I can understand that firing because a lot of those games he lost was because of him. He made some bad decisions. But I think because of the year of COVID, he should have got another chance at least. What's your thought process when you hear that Anthony Lynn, they're not bringing back Anthony Lynn this morning right now, and they got Herbert. You know what I mean? Herbert is the future. So what's your thought process?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not happy about that. I don't see, but I guess they're looking at it like a defensive type of thing or whatever the case may be on that team. But to me, when you look again, I go back to what I said a couple of questions ago about body of work. When you look at a body of work, when you get to the point where you want to fire somebody, the body of work should support the decision.
Mm-hmm.
You can't look at a guy 11-5, 10-6 and all that, with all these winning seasons, getting you into the playoffs, making strides, being a contender, if you will. And then a really bad season or a season you don't care about, go, you know what, we're going to fire. Based on what? Mm-hmm. Because the body of work says otherwise.
Right.
The body of work say, I need to maybe plug some holes somewhere, but I'm not the problem.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I don't agree with that. I think this is part of the new sports league where we're becoming players' leagues, man. And the coach looks like he's becoming more and more expendable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what? The coach is really becoming more and more expendable. Fig, yeah. when you hear this stuff, what's your thought process? Because look, Doug Peterson in Philly, he has his job, right? He's dealing with a whole lot of Carson Wentz issues and everything else. But Anthony Lynn is fired. Now, I know there's 2 completely different teams and everything else, but I think the other coach should have been fired, and the other coach should have been kept. But that's my opinion. I mean, what's your thoughts?
That's what I say.
Look, man, the thing is that like Talon said, it seems that NFL coaches are expendable, and I don't understand the method that they're using to decide what's a good quarterback and a bad quarterback. It's almost like they went instinct. You know what I mean? Like this is like a microwave society. I feel bad for them because good NFL coaches are really hard to come by. So how are you going to just automatically just get rid of a coach who's really good? You know what I mean? According to his record, and then just get him out because they have 1 losing season. I hope you got your eye on his replacement when you decided to fire him, because like I said, good NFL coaches are hard to find.
Right. Talent, do you think the rumor that came out over the weekend affected Philadelphia more than what we thought? And the rumor is that Carson Wentz is forcing his way out. Carson Wentz, was it Saturday morning or Sunday morning? ESPN was reporting that Carson Wentz basically went to Doug Peterson, that he asked for a trade. He's been dealing with management, trying to say he wants out, causing disruption in the team, just not being a team player. He went out on the sidelines of the game last night. He didn't have his pads on. He was like, I'm not playing, so you guys do what you got to do. And literally, it really seemed like he quit on the team. Now, what's your thought when you hear about Carson Wentz, especially when the camera zooms in on him and he literally doesn't have his pads on, like he's not part of the team? You know what I mean? Now, everybody knows when you watch football, no matter what string you're on, if you're not hurt, you got your pads on. He didn't.
Well, I think he's playing a game of reverse psychology. Mm-hmm. We've been talking about on the show all season of, is he going to stay? Are they going to trade him? Get something for him right now? Keep him, leave? What's going to happen? I think he's seeing the same writing and reading the same writing we are. And I think the best way to make it look a certain spin on it, to put the spin on it that, you know what, I'm not happy here. I want to be traded. Like, we can't see your interceptions. Like, we can't see you bumming it out and stinking the field up. I want to get out of here. That's like, come on, man. It's like when you don't perform, keyword perform, you already hear the whispers. So now I'm going to beat you to the punch before it becomes official and say, I don't want to be here. If you can't perform, bro, it's the same way with sex, Frank. The brother can't perform. I'm out of here. I shouldn't be here anyway. You should have thought of that before you got here. You can't get it up, can you, sir?
Well, I don't know nothing about that. So what you think, Fig?
Why are you asking me? I don't know nothing about it either.
I'm not about the game. You right.
Yo, man, listen. Carson Wentz is playing the Jedi mind trick reverse psychology. Like Taylor said, listen, when the coach got to walk behind you on the field with a pooper scooper, you know that you're not doing good. he need the plastic bag around his hand because Carson Wentz be dropping all kind of stink bombs on the field. Look, man, who cares if you won out? You played your way out of your position already. Now you just trying to scoot your way out to another team, man. Nobody cares what Carson Wentz wants to do because first off, it seems like you owe him too much money to pay him on another team anyway. Who's going to pay? It's just like I want to sell a 1979 Oldsmobile Tornado with no engine, but I want 15 grand for it. It's like, yeah, right.
You know the funny thing is that over the weekend we heard about a lot of quarterbacks going. There's a lot of head coach firing and stuff like that. So much to talk about. Let me just throw this out there because I didn't see this anywhere. Nobody talking about this anywhere. The Patriots have decided they're going to part ways with Cam right for this moment right now. Not to say that he can't come back. Cam Newton goes on the radio this morning and says that he hasn't thought about being coming off the bench. He also said that he's not opposed to it just yet. Now, do you guys think Cam Newton deserves another shot? Because in New England, the fan base, they're mad at him and everything else. But let's be honest. Like, he literally deserves another shot. He got a lot of things he was going through. He had no preseason, no offseason, no summer camp, no getting to know the system. He got thrown right in to start. COVID happened. He got COVID during the season, everything else. I think this brother deserves another shot. If it's not for the Patriots, at least for another NFL team. And maybe to start. What you think? So
you telling me that the people in New England are mad at Cam?
The fans of New England, they're very upset at Cam. They're very upset
really?
At Cam.
That's terrible. They need to open up indoor dining again out there because you guys need something to eat or some coffee or something. I'll be mad at Belichick.
Yes, I'm mad at Cam because he wasn't accurate and everything else, but I didn't want to see him go. So I understand that. I want to see him get a fair shake. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I didn't think that was going to happen. I'll be honest with you. I couldn't see that coming. I thought that first of all, I don't think business should be as usual this season.
Right.
This is a very rare time that everybody's feeling their way through. So to go about business as usual, like, we firing this many coaches and we're trading this many. I think some people got to get a pass on some of this stuff that happened in this season. And I think Cam is a prime example of that for all the reasons you just mentioned.
Yeah, he literally is. Everybody knows, Fig, how complex the New England playbook is. Everybody knows that. That's not even a secret. Everybody knows it. People have already seen over the years how many players the Patriots have picked up and dropped off because they couldn't use the playbook. Cam didn't have that. You know what I mean? He didn't have any wide receivers. He didn't have any offense or anything else. Literally got thrown in the mix. Don't you think he should have gotten at least a fair shake to at least have an off season to learn the playbook and then have them come back?
Listen, man, the thing about NFL, about fans, period, fan is short. A lot of people don't even realize that fan is short for fanatic. And a lot of times when you're fanatical about something, you're unrealistic. You know what I mean? Fans really are unrealistic. This guy, he's on a new team, new coach, new system, new players. And then on top of that, some of the best players opted out. And we're in the midst of a pandemic. If that doesn't qualify for another opportunity to put your best foot forward, I don't know what is. But, like I said, fans are unrealistic. So right. I can understand the fans being upset. What would give me pause is that if Belichick wasn't willing to give him another opportunity, that would be like, wow.
Yeah, how does he get another chance if Belichick says, "Nah, I'm good"? That's the thing that throws me right there. Anyway, it's been an interesting weekend in sports because the Bears lost and they made the playoffs, right? And then, of course, the Cowboys did not make the playoffs. So, Talon, I'm going to ask you this. I'm going to say, does the Cowboys not making the playoffs really strengthen Dak Prescott's hand? And do the Cowboys say we need to make sure we secure Dak Prescott right now? Because obviously them not making the playoffs was a huge disappointment, and them not making the playoffs literally made them lose a whole ton of money, more than the average person, because this is supposed to be America's #1 team. They got a lot of sponsorship deals, they got a lot of advertising, throughout the entire Southwest. The Cowboys, again, are the biggest type of platform. So them not making the playoffs, was that a seismic shift to you, or expected to you, Talent? What you thought? Talent, you're on mute. Talent, you're on mute.
I don't think so. I don't think Dak's stock could go any higher than it did from like 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think it peaked. I think it's at a peak. I think that the only thing that remains in question is cheap ass Jerry Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Is he gonna still put it on layaway, or is he gonna buy the damn thing?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He been shopping on layaway for years now. Jerry is Filene's basement all day, bro. Will he buy it? That's the question. Is Jerry gonna do another year of layaway, or is he gonna buy it? You know what I mean? Dak's stock couldn't get any higher right now, bro.
Yeah, I agree with that. Fig, what you think?
I think Jerry franchising Dak Prescott was an omen for the team this year. Quite possibly why I may be reaching why Dak got hurt, but I mean it's a fire sale out there, and it goes to show that you just can't plug any old quarterback in on an NFL team and expect it to run like your first string quarterback. That's why the quarterback that you have out there is first string, because
it's
clearly he's better.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And in honor of the delusional Cowboy fans, I happen to wear my Giants hoodie because we were the ones who ended the Dallas Cowboys season. And I don't even care if the Giants don't make the playoffs. I don't care if we don't make the playoffs next year, as long as we're the ones who kick the Dallas Cowboys out of playoff contention and make their sorry fan base cry in their cereal this morning. Cry in your milk.
And last night. They were crying last night. Let's be honest. So let's look at this. The Jets, the Lions, the Falcons, and the Texans all have head coach openings. They all have them. Now, of those teams, the Jets, the Lions, the Falcons, and the Texans, they all are basically trending in the wrong direction because they could possibly trade, trend in the right direction. But which team do you see with those openings can turn things around rather quickly? I'm going to throw it out there. My team is the Texans, because I think the way the Texans balled out yesterday, they played Tennessee tight. That was one of the games where Tennessee literally could have got shocked by the way they balled out. I think the Texans, even though they don't have an official head coach, I think they're the team of the future, especially in the AFC. What's your thought process, Talent? Is it the Jets, the Lions, the Falcons, or the Texans? Who do you think is trending in the right direction and who can literally turn things around really quickly? Which one of those four teams?
Well, I think it's my Jets. I think my Jets have made a decision by the way they've been moving the last half of the season. They made a decision that they're going to build around Sam Darnold. And I think that adding those pieces is everything, because I think this guy's much better than the average know to him to be. I just think he didn't have anything around him. And that sometimes that's a telltale sign for a quarterback, to see how you do with nothing. I.e. a Peyton Manning, nothing. One receiver, no line. You could go look at the bad years of the tough years of Aaron Rodgers. Nothing. It was all his footwork and all his creativity and creating off the, out of the pocket and stuff like that. Sometimes that's a test for your trials and tribulations as a QB. And I think Sam Darnold has passed that test. So I would say the Jets.
Okay, well, let me throw it to you, Fig, and say I disagree with what one thing you're saying. I think they're going to trade, because rumors have it this morning that they're going to trade Sam Darnold probably to Chicago or probably to Denver. And they're going to try to get Justin Fields. If the Jets get Justin Fields, then I'll agree with you, because they're going to get the number 2 pick. Like, I think they can move that way, but Sam Darnold, I don't think is going to be part of that equation. What's your thoughts, Fig?
Wow, that is a bombshell, man. We need to have the explosion sound behind that. You just dropped the bomb. that the Jets are going to get rid of Sam Darnold. I think.
That's the rumor having. I don't know for certain to say. You know what I mean?
Well,
I don't know, but it makes sense. And then if the Jets do get Justin Fields, that kid can ball out. So I can agree with Talent saying I just don't think that it's going to be with Sam Darnold. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be with Justin Fields. And Justin Fields is literally. I was looking at him, and all I kept thinking of was Lamar Jackson, the way I was watching him. But I don't mean to interrupt. Go ahead, Vic. What you think?
A lot of people look. The bottom line is a lot of players look great in college.
Yeah.
And then you get to the NFL, and it's a whole different story. We've already seen the potential of a Sam Darnold in the NFL, and I think if you take him and move him to a team like Denver or something like that, you're going to realize that you made a mistake very quickly. Now, on the other hand, I really like Deshaun Jackson because he's just gotten better and better. And if you put some pieces around him, you put some players and some playmakers around him, I think that the Texans will be a really tough out. You know what I mean? Because they did play pretty tough yesterday. It was the last game of the season. They've been playing tough all year. They had some close losses, but I really like them, man. I like Deshaun Watson as a quarterback, and I think with a couple more pieces around him, it couldn't hurt the team worse to get rid of possibly one of the best receivers in the NFL. That I don't understand that. I still don't understand that move. It's almost like you sabotage this quarterback or you sabotage this team by doing that. That's crazy to me.
The Jets have, which a lot of people don't realize, the Jets have the most picks in the next year's draft, more than anybody. Yep. If they get Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator from Kansas City Chiefs, if they get him, and if they get another GM, which looks like they're going to do, and they get Justin Fields, combined with all those draft picks and everything else, I can absolutely understand why you're saying that, what you're saying, Talent. But I'm going to go on record for saying at this moment right now, not knowing what the Jets is going to do, I think the Houston Texans right now, they're trending in the fastest direction because they already have Deshaun Watson. They already have a couple of pieces, and they're going somewhere faster. That's all my point I'm trying to say. But
Frank, did you call him Eric the Enemy?
Bieniemy. His name is.
I could call Eric the Enemy. I was like, yeah.
If he starts losing when he get out there, people will call him the enemy. People will call him that. But let's talk about the Bears real fast. The Bears are making it into the playoffs, right? The Bears back into the playoffs. The Bears did not pick up Mitch Trubisky's contract this year. So right now, the Bears are going to supposedly moving in the right direction and everything else. But do you think he's going to start for the Bears next season? And they're going to cut his contract in half? Talent. What do you think the Bears are going to do? Like, it's surprising.
I think the Bears are going to go shopping. I think he's done. I think the Bears are going to go shopping. If they was going to pick that up, you would have did something by now. I don't believe they believe they're in the playoffs too. By the way, right. So they're showing up to go get some popcorn and a couple of beers. They don't expect it to really take this that much further. So I think they're done with them. They cut ties. And the trade system begins. Like, if there's any truth to the rumor, you said, hey, we ain't no telling who's going to end up in Chicago.
Yeah, but imagine this, Vic. Imagine if Sam Darnold's in the Bears uniform with the Bears right now. Now, the Bears turn around that team, I think, instantly. You know what I mean? And Mitch Trubisky is not the answer. Nick Foles is not the answer. Maybe Sam Darnold is in the Bears uniform. What you think, Vic?
I think you're using stripper language right here. You said that the team is going to turn around. You said they backed into the playoffs. I'm like,
where is your mind this morning?
It sounds like lap dance talk to me. It's what
where is your mind this morning?
Yo, man, I think that if you get a player like Sam Darnold on a team like Chicago, man, it's a totally different team because I really believe that this quarterback is talented, man. I really do. I think that Sam Darnold is a really talented quarterback. He's not fast, or what you would really consider like a mobile quarterback, but he's not your typical, I have to stand in the pocket. He can run and he's big. You know what I mean? He's that typical size quarterback. Like, he's over 6 feet. He could see over the line. You know what I mean? When healthy and he has a line to protect him, this kid is dangerous, man. And if he goes on a team like the Bears, I see them being able to turn around their season quite quickly, and then they won't have to back in to the playoffs next year.
So Talent, let me ask you this. The Cleveland Browns beat Pittsburgh, right? Pittsburgh is now 1-4 the last 5 games. Pittsburgh Steelers right now literally is concerned. People in Pittsburgh is concerned because, the playoffs are about to start. But after you saw the game yesterday, Pittsburgh, let's be honest, Pittsburgh didn't have all their starters playing. I'm not that concerned if I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I don't think they should be. But, you never know in the playoffs. Should there be a concern of the Pittsburgh Steelers, especially the way they lost to Cleveland, and even though it was a tight game, or should they just not worry about it and wait, let's see what happens in the playoffs?
I think people are worried not because of yesterday. I think they're worried for the last 4 weeks. I think that, again, they're looking at the collectively. And like you said, they've been trending the wrong direction for 4 weeks. Dude, 4 weeks is a month. That's a long time that you can't get your hand on the dial and get it going straight and and drive that boat or that car. You can't seem to navigate it. So I think the fans in Pittsburgh, they got a right to be worried. You know what I mean? Forget yesterday. We a lot of these teams know they chalk up yesterday to rest, COVID. Like, we're gonna sit these players. We can't take a chance of get all the way to the dance and everybody get hurt. So they know that they're not judging by just yesterday. They're judging collectively. You know what I mean? And saying, look, we got to hope now because we done kind of like washed away the last game. So we didn't even get a look at did we turn it around yet. We don't get a look until a playoff game.
Right.
We don't get a look to see if they got it up here and they got the mechanisms back where they belong to be that winning team we've seen for the first 10 weeks. They don't know, and the worst thing to do is to find out in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. When you hear everything that Talent just said, Fig, are you agreeing with him, disagreeing with him, and are you concerned if you are a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, or you just like,
Yeah, if I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I'm a little concerned because they didn't end the season on a high note. They ended the season, losing like 3 games in a row. Ben didn't look like
they won out of 4 their last 5 games.
Right. So Ben didn't look like himself. You know what I mean? They didn't look like the same team. Right before they started to slide, the coach said that they were playing horribly. You know what I mean? Tomlin said that they were playing like a horrible team. Like it seems like they're trending in the wrong direction. For lack of a better description. And the way that they played yesterday, against Cleveland,
right?
It didn't look good.
It didn't look
even
good.
Even without Big Ben in the game, Fat Roethlisberger. Without Fatburger in the game, they didn't look that good.
They didn't look good to me either. Tomorrow we want to finish this conversation up talking about the rest of the NFL playoffs, but we will also want to get ready to start talking about the NBA because the NBA had a lot of action over the weekend too. But we're going to talk about that after we bring in Rodney Perry because Rodney Perry came in and he got a whole stuff that he wants to talk about because I'm sure in this segment I disagree. So here we go, Rodney. What you disagree about?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hey, Rodney.
It's always a pleasure, Fig. Talent.
What's up, brother?
How are you? In 2021, I plan to be more civilized. I don't want to be just irate and yelling and screaming and whatnot. So I'm working on myself. A lot of self-reflection as we move into 2021. Thank you to the Facebook users. We got into the NCAA bubble. Of course, the NCAA is going to take a nod from the NBA. And here goes. The bubble works in a playoff-like atmosphere because you can confine people to a certain area. When you're trying to put a season in the bubble, that becomes a problem. It's problematic, and plus people need to move around. And I'm gonna try to maintain my decorum. you guys got into the fact that the Chargers are getting rid of the black man. Oh, are we surprised that the black coach gets nixed after a winning season? Ask Lovie Smith about that. Ask who else? Ask every black coach in the last 20 years. Come on, NBA, NFL. Come on, NFL. You think we don't notice that a black coach can't lose one game? Huh? Did the Eagles throw the game? Maybe. Maybe the Eagles threw the game. Or just another school of thought. Or maybe the Eagles decided, why don't we not get our QB hurt today? This guy's going to be our future. Wentz is a piece of dookie. Why don't we just not put the guy out there? He don't have to play the whole game. We not good. I'm the Eagles. We not good. We could try to play the game and finish the game out with some self-respect, but we ain't good. So why not going forward? Start thinking about that now. Winston already messed up this season, and he ain't got his pants on. If I was them, I'd have made Wentz quarterback anyway. No pads. That's what I would have done. Y'all talked about Cam Newton is out of there for New England. What did you think? Bill Belichick only looks at results. You are not going to be on a Bill Belichick coach team and not play probably 40% of the season. Cam was always a Band-Aid for them. Cam was a Band-Aid. I would love to see the guy get a shot, a real shot, but it ain't going to happen. And how about this? This is the worst NFL season in history. It's the worst. Whether we're talking about the Chargers or the Eagles or New England or New England, for God's sake. If you talk any of these teams, this is the worst NFL. I play fantasy football. I went 0-7. I should be fired. We got to talking about the Texans. Y'all bring up the Texans. Everybody, well, they kind of trending up with. Ooh, I think they trend. No, they're not. These are the dumbest front office in football. You trade away the best guys in the game. Oh, and now they get it together? No, they're not. They still the Texans. They got a good quarterback. But that's it. What's a good quarterback with no receivers? What, he throwing it to himself? I got it, coach. And finally, my Bears lucked up and made the playoffs. Guess who's not going to get fired? Nagy.
Mm-hmm.
Nagy will not be fired. He squeezed into the playoffs. He ruined 2 careers. He ruined Nick Foles, a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He turned around and he ruined Mitch Trubisky, a guy that had tremendous upside. I feel sorry for the next quarterback. I feel sorry for Matt Nagy ruining another quarterback. I may go play for the Bears just to keep another young man from falling into the clutches of Matt Nagy. Browns over Pittsburgh. You guys talking about Pittsburgh, of course they're on a slide, but how about this? The Browns are good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Browns are good.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I hate the Browns. They are, I got friends I got friends that are from Cleveland, and they love these guys, and they let them down every year. Guess what the Browns are going to do this year? They do just enough to get you excited, and then they let you down. The Browns will let you down. Cleveland! This is for you! Lose! Again! Bright spot on the weekend was the Giants winning. Kudos, guys. It was a pleasure to watch. It was almost like they threw the whole season up to that game.
Mm-hmm.
It was like who are these guys? Where y'all been? What? If I'm a Giants fan, I'm like, who is these guys? Who are these guys? Who are the guys that are showing up? Where the freak were these guys last week? Where were they weeks ago? Yo, B, what's up with the Giants, B? Word up, buddy. Yes, you can say Dookie. Texans, Bears. Yeah, I'm done.
Everybody, that was Rodney Perry with his segment called I Disagree. We got to keep this thing going on like we always do. And Steph Curry last night in the NBA, he made history. So, of course, he 62 points in the game. That hasn't happened since Kobe. He got 31 points in the first half. They destroyed Portland. I'm going to say this to you, Talent. The season don't look so bad for Golden State Warriors right now, does it?
Well, don't look so bad for Steph. Let's not go too far. Let's not take his 62 and act like we can spread the love, because the rest of the team was so excited because it was like, man, it was ironic. You had one guy had 6 points and another guy off the bench had 2 points. Put it together, Steph had 62 points. You know what I mean? So, like, they couldn't get but so excited. Now, it looks good for Steph. And I get it. When your team is in turmoil, right? When your team is in some sort of turmoil, you have to, if you're a superstar like Steph Curry, arguably top 10 player, superstar in his own right, best three-point shooter, pure shooter.
Number one paid in the league. And
he has to maintain who he is. Mm-hmm. So it's like, this is a replica. I'm sorry, Rodney, but this is a replica of we're quantum leap back to that bum-ass season in LA with LeBron. LeBron still had to be LeBron.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
He couldn't lay down and be like, the Lakers stink. I'm going to go ahead and lay down and average 9 points. He's the king.
Mm-hmm.
He is LeBron. So even though my team sucks right now, if nothing else, I got to give ESPN some highlights.
Yeah.
So it's good for Steph Curry. Yeah, he gonna give you some highlights.
And Fig, didn't he give him some highlights last night? That followed down with 2 people on him at the 3-point shot, at the 3-point at the top of the key. Like I was like, okay, I see. What's your thoughts, Fig?
The funny thing about it is, I believe that Steph Curry is probably one of the most underrated superstars that ever played the game. He single-handedly changed the way the game is played from the perimeter. Probably one of the best shooters, if not the best outside shooter to ever lace him up and play. And extremely underrated, man. Extremely underrated. He gave highlights. And here's the thing. He didn't take that many 3-pointers last night. So when people say, oh, Steph Curry is just a 3-point shooter, he's a trick shooter and stuff like that, a lot of his points came from, inside the 3-point line. They fouled him a lot. He ended up going to the line quite a few times. He has his game is full of variety and well-rounded. And Steph Curry is a superstar basketball player, man. And like I said, severely underrated.
Yeah. Rodney Perry, when you saw that and everything else, what was your thoughts?
Okay, let's keep it real, man. And I never agree with Fig.
Mm-hmm.
Steph Curry is cold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Steph Curry is cold. Steph Curry makes me want to be light-skinned. Steph Curry is instant offense, add ball. If you add the ball to his game, he's gonna score points. The dude is phenomenal. And how about this? He's doing it at what? 6'3"? He's doing this at 6'3", which is short for the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
This dude is not a game. He's open when he gets into the gym. Like, he's not even on the court, and they like cover that dude.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's really impressive, man. And I mean, I don't know if he's ever going to be in the GOAT conversation. I don't think he's underrated. I think
I don't think so either.
And another thing, they had the top 10 NBA, the people that are how the money is made. He is a top paid athlete in the NBA right now, and that in itself is totally impressive and deserved. Well done, Steph Curry.
Yeah, I don't think he's underrated though.
I want to ask, did y'all see the video? I don't know if y'all seen the video where Steph Curry was shooting 3-pointers. He made 105 3-pointers and never missed.
Yeah,
105 in a row.
Big. We talked about that last week. We talked about that last week. Yeah. Let me ask you guys this question, right? The Philadelphia 76ers.
Can I say this, Frank?
Go ahead.
And I actually have a similar record. I've missed 106 3-pointers in a row.
And that should have been on. That should have been a highlight too. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That should have been on the highlights too. We missed that one. But I want to throw this question in before we leave because this is one blew me away. I woke up this morning. The Philadelphia 76ers have the best record in the league right now. As we speak, the Philadelphia 76ers are 5-1. Several other teams are 5-2, but the Sixers have the best offense and they have the best defense in the league. So, Talon, I'm gonna ask you this: are you shocked by it? Granted, it's early. But Talon, are you shocked by seeing how good the Sixers are doing right now? Because they literally are 5-1. Amazing. What you think, Talon?
They're okay. They're all right. They're all right.
That's it.
They ain't impressing me because you know what's funny? Your boy starts off like that every season. Embiid comes to play the first 12 games, and he gets like Rodney said about Cleveland. He gets Philly hyped up like they're going somewhere. Embiid does it every time, like Cleveland. He get them hyped up, and at about 15, 16 games in, he started every other game taking a game off. And then when you're in the half of the season, now you're mad. Now he's sitting on the bench with a cheesecake, Philly cheesesteak.
Right. Fig, what you think?
He that type of dude. So 6 games, I'm not gonna get hyped. The same way I'm not gonna get super hyped about. You see my Knicks? I put it in the feed last night. We're not playing.
Yeah.
We beat them. However, it's still
early. It's still early, right? Fig, what you think?
I think it's the Doc Rivers effect, and I think quite possibly Joel Embiid takes games off because of the jerk chicken. You can't eat jerk chicken and sit on the bench for a whole game without having to take a little time off to make a Lamar Jackson run to the bathroom.
Rodney Perry, what you think?
It's only 6 games, guys.
Calm down.
They got to play 70-some games, 80 games. Ain't wrong. It's worthy of excitement. We're not used to seeing. You got Doc Rivers out there. We're not used to seeing these guys gelling. Ben Simmons is making shots. That's more important than Embiid. Ben Simmons is actually making shots. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Ben Simmons hit open threes. Wow. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Ben Simmons is hitting open shots. Oh my God. Yes, this is worthy of applause. But
hey, here's an analogy for you, Rodney. Here's an analogy for you. It's like going on a date with talent. You know, the first 2 dates, seafood, crab legs, lobster tails. Have a good time. After the first 2,
have a good time.
After those first 2, White Castle forever.
Forever? Wait, forever? Oh, speaking of analogies, Frank, I did miss it in my notes. The layaway analogy, talent, outstanding.
Oh, thank you, brother.
The layaway analogy, yes. Well,
that was outstanding. I can't even front on that. I didn't like that layaway. Now,
what was the store? What store is that people do the layaway at?
Filene's Basement.
Filene.
all right, so since you guys look at it like it's 5-1, we're not going to be concerned. I'm going to ask you, talent. I say since the Nets, New Jersey Nets are 3-4, they're in the bottom 10 of the worst defense in the league. Are you concerned with the New Jersey Nets? Because the other night they had to put up 144 points. The team that they were playing against put up 141, and they still won. But 144 to 141 in a game like that's horrible. That's horrible. And then on top of that, I guess you could even say if you score 141 points and you lose, that's even a bigger story. But we'll talk about that later. So what's your thought process, Town?
Well, here's the problem with the Nets. We've put so much emphasis on this superstar offense. They grabbed they were already scoring, nice scoring team and everything. And these guys sat out the whole last season due to injuries. Now that they're back, there's so much emphasis on these guys to be the offensive powerhouses that they were pre-injury, pre-rehab. And the problem with that is if you come out and read your own press clippings and you're trying to live up to that, you can easily forget, gotta play a little D2.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's why the damn game was 144 to 141. The other team shouldn't be 140 with your 140.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't remember the last time a team scored 141 points and lost. I don't know what you think, Fig.
Yeah, man, I think here's the thing. I think it's crazy because think of who the coach is. You got Steve Nash. He wasn't the greatest defender in the world. And then he brought in Mike D'Antoni to help him out. There ain't no defense on that team. This is like the second coming of the Houston Rockets. It's like we're going to outscore everybody and we ain't going to play no defense. We just going to run up and down the court because we got Kyrie Irving, we got Kevin Durant, and all of these shooters, and we just going to outshoot everybody. And I don't care what nobody say. That is not a formula for winning basketball. It just ain't. You got to play defense sometimes.
Yeah, Rodney, what you think?
Here goes, guys. Forget defense. Forget it.
They obviously did.
Forget defense. You got 244 points. This is the thing. When you play defense, that's when you hurt yourself. Every player that's ever been hurt got hurt on defense.
Look at Rodney playing defense.
That's how you hurt yourself, trying to go side to side. Every player that's ever been hurt, they say, you know what? KD, Kyrie, no defense. We need you guys the whole season. Don't get hurt trying to keep up with somebody and taking charges and shit. Would you just score, sir?
That's all you gotta do.
Score.
That's all you gotta do.
Every player that's ever been hurt got hurt on defense. Think about it. Nobody ever gets hurt going to the bathroom.
All right, y'all. That's our show for today, man.
Wait a minute. What?
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about tomorrow. We got to talk about playing no defense. We got to talk about the AFC and the NFC wild card games of this weekend. I'm sure we're going to have a whole lot of jokes with that. Talent, tell everybody out there how to follow you.
Hey, follow your boy on Twitter at It's Just Comedy. Follow me on Instagram, Talent the Comedian, or follow me on Facebook, King Talent Harris. That's how we getting down.
Now, you could follow Rodney, just don't follow him the way he played defense. Rodney, how they follow you?
I got you. Frank, you can't get by me.
Yes, yeah. I can get by you in a wheelchair. Go ahead. How they follow you?
Hey, don't worry about that. Check out the show 3:00 today. It's called Improv Live. It's on StreamYard right here on Facebook. Check me out. Improv Live this afternoon, man. It's going to be a crazy show. Great show lined up. Follow my Facebook page. Follow my YouTube page for all information. Rodney Perry Live.
So Facebook page, your Rodney Perry Live Facebook page, we're going to check that out. 3:00 today. We're going to check that out. Fig, tell everybody out there how they can follow you.
Yeah, man, you can follow me on Rodney Perry Live. I'm going to try and figure out how to play that defense right there because I ain't never seen it played that way.
Yeah, because you play defense. I don't know. What is that?
You can
What's that?
find me on the box seats Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m., baby. I'm going to be here with my cup.
What's that? Listen, Rodney Perry look like a cardboard. You know how
You
you
gotta put your hand in their face. You gotta put your hand in their face. Hey, Frank, that's defense in tennis.
Oh, okay. That's what it is. Rodney look like that cardboard that slide by at the amusement parks like this.
Tell you, I've been known as a tenacious defender.
Yeah. My kids said the same thing. Anyway, we'll see y'all Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 on the show called The Box Seats. We on the channel called The Humor Mill. We are obviously also on an app on Android and iPhone. You can even call your cable service provider. That's Rodney. That's Talent. That's Fig. We'll see y'all tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We got a lot more to talk about. We're going to have some guests this week and all of that stuff. Looking forward to that. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Same back time.
Hey, Frank, we almost finished the show without a word of the day, but tenacious.
I see y'all later.
Tenacious. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year!